Okay, hi, this is April Pierce. I am on the Frequency Hour, and today I'm chit chatting with local friend and talented wonder, Angel Thomas. So, just kind of wanted to get in with Angel because he's so hard to get with. We're busy, but it's okay. It's good that we're busy these days. Kind of wanted to start off by like talking about we've known each other for almost 2 years. And I kind of wanted to like just back up there and like talk a little bit about where you were 2 years ago, what that looked like, and how you got to where you're at right now. And I know this is just the beginning and apex of where we're all going. But, I remember those conversations we used to have 2 years ago, and we were kind of so lost at that point and so frustrated and like didn't quite know how to proceed or we kind of knew where we were supposed to be doing, but how were we going to get there? So I kind of wanted to go back and start there because that's funny.
I think 2 years ago, I was trying to find my tribe, my family, my way, so to speak. I was searching for where I fit in because I didn't fit in. I was like, oh, I don't fit in here. Okay, they don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I can't talk to them. So I think 2 years ago, I was just searching for a place to fit in. Um, and belong, because I think we were always looking for that 2 years ago. Like, where do we fit in? Where do we belong? Like, where's our tribe? What do we do with this knowledge that we got that we're supposed? Who can I talk to about this? Because if I try to talk to my family, they're like, "Get back." So I think that's where I was at 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember, like the first time I met you and a few other people, and it was just like, I felt like I was at Disney World because these people are talking about things that I want to talk about, and like everybody's excited about it, and we felt free enough to have those conversations. And I think that that energy, especially right now this year, there's another wave of that going on where I know I'm seeing, and you are too, people questioning things and realizing there's a little bit more out there into life and to existence that we've been led to believe. And um, there's just something I always joke around because I just turned 49 and I'm like, this is my midlife crisis. This is wonderful. I am having a blast. Um, but yeah, it's just where we've come in the last 2 years. It doesn't seem like 2 years ago.
I feel like I just met you.
I remember, you have a conversation with me, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's what I mean. I didn't find anybody I could talk to. Like I didn't fit in. Everybody was just like, "Huh?" I was like, "Oh, never mind."
I wanted to hear it, but then I was no idea what he just said. But more, yeah, because like I had not. I remember this is another joke. I had a lady tell me over 10 years ago. She was like, you're going to have a spiritual awakening, and I'm like, I'm going to change churches. Like, I had no idea what she meant by that. It was not that.
No, it was not. I mean, you did technically, but I mean, not really.
Oh man. Yeah, it wasn't. I really, really thought she was like, I'm gonna, go through this process where I, look at being a Baptist and like maybe look at being a Methodist, or like I had no idea what she was talking about. So yeah, I've always had weird things and connections, but then like there wasn't anybody in my life that explained those things. So of course, meeting you, meeting other people, and I think we've all had our little moments where we were lost and we had to find, our teachers and our mentors and someone to kind of point us into the right direction. And I like you took what you've been through and then you've developed classes and courses and you do that too. So if you want to talk about like your mentorships and like what all you've got for those people that are looking for their tribe and looking for someone to kind of point them in their direction. Yeah.
I will. I'm going to jump back. You said something and a channel message came through. You said people like we're in that cycle again. You're right. people are where we were at 2 years ago because of these planetary alignments, these new moons and full moons, this energy, this Aquarius energy, and then we're going into this Aries energy, right? We're going into this fire energy. So people are like, where's my tribe? Where do I fit? I don't want to go there. So it's a cycle. So we have evolved enough to where we're seeing that cycle in other people now. But, a lot of people are kind of like us, like, maybe, but I don't know. Wait a minute. Maybe, but I don't want to know. Just I always tell people who what's meant for you will be, and people flow into our lives for a reason. So I feel like a lot of us light workers that were in that cycle that are here now, we're getting ready to see an uptick in a lot of things. So,
And I agree. And then
try to think.
I love being able to use that. It wasn't that long ago where I was so, which I call green, that I didn't realize or understand a lot of things. And I won't ever understand everything. We're not meant to. But it just kind of helps somebody point them in their way of their own journey. I have one client that she like wants me to tell her what she should do for everything. And I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, you're not crazy. This is, you're right. Like she's starting to question things. She's starting to, go her own direction and like, but then she feels lost. So it's nice to be able to be a cornerstone for someone to come to and feel comfortable enough that they can talk to me, express what they're going through, and for me to just kind of point them in a direction because everybody's path is different.
Everybody's just, and that's kind of with me. That's what a little bit of what I do. My mentorship is built around you. So I have some clients that are more advanced. We work on light codes, light language. We work on understanding light codes. We work on connecting with our galactic beings, Arcturians, Pleiadians, how to use their frequency, understand their frequency. But then I have my clients who are just starting this journey, and we work on healing and opening and working through trauma and healing each chakra and releasing that trauma to allow the prima energy to run through the body. So, and then we work on intuition development. So my mentorship is tailored around each individual person. But probably my favorite thing to do is soul retrievals. I don't know why. I just love going into the ethers and going through your timelines and being nosy and retrieving those fragments that have been misplaced through conditioning and fear. Sometimes we lose fragments in different times, places, past lives, and we can retrieve those fragments and bring them back and heal the past, present, and future. So that's probably my favorite thing to do right now. Soul retrievals, and then I teach a Reiki class. I'm a Reiki master. I teach a quantum healing class because I'm a quantum healer, and I don't know a bunch of other stuff. I could go down the list, but we'll be here till tomorrow. So just know I do everything.
My guides have recently like you got to start explaining what you do, but like simplify it. And because I'm like you, I can go off in different directions and that's wonderful and stuff, but then it gets confusing when someone's new to this that they don't need to know about all the things. So I've kind of tried to simplify and for just those people that are just starting to wake up. And like you said, then I can kind of go into other things for a couple other people. But yeah,
I think you can only book 5 things on my website: a 30-minute reading, a 45-minute reading, a soul retrieval, a Reiki and reading session, and my mentorship.
okay.
Just because it's just everything there, and then from there we figure out the rest.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got your simplified pretty good too. So what is your soul retrieving that session look like? How much does that cost? Like, can you do that in Zoom or?
So that session is 275, and I do not do it on Zoom because I am in an altered state. So what I do is I tried to do it on Zoom, and then the client was kind of looking at me because I'm in an altered state, and I actually biolocate through that timeline. The client said I could see so many dragons and beings and stuff around you, and there was so much energy. She said, and I would go to say something, but it was like you were channeled, and they would be like, "Just wait." So I was just sitting there. So it's done without a call. I go into an alter. I record it so you can see everything. I just did 3 yesterday. But I go into an altered state. I biolocate that timeline and I cut that cord with Archangel Michael and any galactic beings I may need. I retrieve that piece of soul with unconditional love, bring it back, repair it. And it's not always, a lot of people think when I do soul retrievals, we're always retrieving negative, but we're not. Sometimes I retrieve your gifts. Your gifts can get fragmented across time space. So sometimes I go and retrieve your gifts. For instance, I had one session, I retrieved the girl's dragons.
Yeah.
And then from there, when I reconnected her with her dragons, she felt the energy. And then she just blossomed after that, blew up like it. So it could be either way. We don't always have to go to the underworld to retrieve. Sometimes I go between timelines to retrieve. So that's how mine works.
But when you say sometimes they're lost in the underworld, you feel like that in those timelines we were in the darkness and going through such trauma, that's where they got fragmented.
Sometimes we do. We all have had that life of the darkness. No matter, because in order to be in the light, you have to understand the darkness. In order to understand it, we've experienced it. So sometimes when we don't learn our lessons or when we choose to come out of it, our soul fragments in the underworld, we have to go down there and retrieve it. Um, which is not bad because most time that's our most powerful gift with that fragment that's there that we didn't surface here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. I wouldn't mind you doing on that, but that's cool. Like I'm so intrigued with so many different things, and I have some mediumship abilities. And I had a medium that I talked to not long ago, and she was going to help me, and she said, "Well, what do you need help with? Like, how's your intention? Like, when you sit down to do this, how's this working for you?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm not sitting down and doing it." And she's and I'm like, "It just comes in." And she's like, "So you mean you've never sat down and said, I'm going to do a reading and with that intention?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Girl, you're asking me to help you ride the bike and you ain't even straddled it." And I'm like, "I know, but that's scary." Like, if it just comes in just easy breezy, I'm good with it, you know. But I just was bringing that up because some people that are listening to this that does have gifts, I'm just trying to let them know. I didn't realize that, they're not just going to land. Some of them are not just going to land so easily in your lap. You do have to practice. You do have to put work into it. Like, nobody becomes a famous tennis player because they only play tennis once a year. It, and I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it like, oh, one day when my gifts come in, then I'm just going to wake up with these abilities that I don't have to, do any work for. And I'm just admitting my stupidity. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was like going to the gym and like mental training and like, I didn't know. But
Well, I think it's a mixture of both now because we're in a higher vibration than we were before. And I kind of been talking about this. The old systems are starting to break down. So it is a lot easier for us to connect. Here's the downfall though. Like you and I have done our healing, right? So we may be walking and then Jimbo's uncle decides to talk to us. Our gifts are open because we've done our healing. But to someone who may have not have done their healing, their gifts may open, but they may be like, I'm seeing shadow people, or I'm seeing this, or I'm seeing that because they're seeing their fears.
yeah, yeah. Like I know I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I'm not saying that it will never happen, but like I've never had a negative experience with anything that I've connected to or seen. Um, I can't say that's going to be always, but I think my mindset to it, though, even if I saw something that didn't look like me, I feel into the energy more than I do just what things look like. Um,
Not all galactic beings are pretty. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't know what world. Some of them you gotta kind of take a double take. Like, what are you? Okay, 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 okay. I'm sorry. Like some of them you gotta look at.
pictures, I do with the eyes, there's some interesting things. But that's never made me want to claw my eyeballs out. It's like, oh, look, that's cute. But there's just so much, and it's so exciting. Um, and I just still feel like me and you are, we're not going to learn it all. Like, there's just so much to dive into still, and that's what's exciting to me.
And I'm nosy and I want to learn everything, but there's no way, like you said, in this life to learn everything. I try though.
I do too. You know me. It's like I watch something and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Hmm.
And you told me the other day where instead of using the tuning forks that you strike, and you got to strike every 30 seconds, they're little transducers, and you put them on the body, and then I can Bluetooth and like play anything I want.
Hmm.
like, yeah, I'm all about some tools and some neat, I want it all. I want the negative ion $8,000 shower. Why? Sounds
Because
cool.
it's fun. It's nice. My body's gonna heal. I want it.
So yeah, my guys are constantly like yelling simplify right now, and I'm wanting to go buy everything on the market because I love it. I'm very interested in anything between red light therapy to mediumship to tarot cards to you name it. I have fallen in love with this older version of myself that I didn't know existed.
hmm
So,
That's the one thing I do not do though is mediumship. Not because I can't, but because I have not figured out how to turn off. So let's say I talk with Jim Bob's uncle that passed, and he died from a heart attack. I literally have a heart attack, and it hurts, and I don't prefer it. And I ain't figured out how to turn that off because I guess because I'm an open channel, the spirits enter my body. They show me if someone dies from brain aneurysm or a gunshot wound. I smell the gunpowder in my head. It's just so medium. Even though I can, it's something I just don't do. That's the one thing I don't do.
that's what they were telling me. My guys were telling me I was a physical medium as well. And when I was talking to a client who knew about this, I made the comment while I was working on her. I was like, what is a physical medium anyway? And at the same time I said that, my back grabbed. And I heard, that's a physical medium. And I was like, ah! And I asked my client, I said, where did you say your back hurts? And she was like, my right lower side, it grabs sometimes like it's a nerve. And I was like, oh, okay. Gotcha. But mine is not like your, like, mine don't come in that much. Like, I don't know how, I mean, I don't turn it on and off either, but when I do work on someone, it's like I give permission for me to feel those things, and then like after I close down, it's like I don't give permission for that anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Once my day ends, it's over. But when I'm doing a session, if it is a mediumship, some people I have mediumship on my website, but it's a ridiculous price because it's so much, so people don't book it. But if I'm in a session and they come through, then you'll if you ever see me in a medium, you'll see me, and I'll tell the client they died from a heart attack, or they got shot in the head, or they had cancer, or they had this, and they'll say yes, and I'll be like, okay, and then I have to clear that energy.
Like, okay, go on.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't use my body. Find something else.
I wonder if, and I don't know, this is just how it works for me, but like I give permission to like feel a little bit of it. It might help you if you, I don't know, maybe tell them just a little come through, but you're so wide open, I don't know if they can control that or not.
I think it's because I'm in a light trance state in most of my sessions already. So
I'm just saying, I know that, kind of like when, although you get dizzy or something and you tell them to like back away or like, the vibration is really strong. That's just how I do mine is I just want to feel it a little. I don't want like a whole band to fall on me. Just give me a little. I'm good.
I just I don't know. I just don't like mediumship. Like if they come through, great. But I don't want to taste your grandmother's banana pudding. I don't want to smell your uncle's ribs. Like I don't want to feel their pain. So I just don't prefer me. I respect you. I'm grateful for you, but I just don't want to. Like it's just never been. That's the one thing I just don't prefer to do.
Especially if it's, nobody wants to feel all that, and especially if yours stays open and you still feel it later. Um, that's no fun either.
Yeah. No, no. Later I don't feel it. When I leave the session, I'm done. But I don't want to feel it them 10 minutes either.
So I just hadn't had that big of a problem with it. Like, but I don't do as many readings as you do either.
I commend you all who can do it and don't. I'm jealous in a way because
I've always been fascinated with it. I just, but then I've had to work a lot on like my discernment because the reason why I don't sit down and book the mediumship's session is because I'm afraid they're not going to show up, or I'm afraid I'm not going to get anything. it's so much easier if it just comes in and it's like I don't have to work. It's like they're just I'm sensing they're here, and then I start talking and everything starts lining up. But there's something about sitting down across from someone with the intention of we're going to do a reading that just putting yourself out there, and that's something that you can't control.
I love it. That's what I do love. I love readings because once you get to you're helping a client. So being able to see the root cause and give them clarity that's needed. Like the session I had yesterday, the client came in chaotic. She left grounded at peace with so much intuition and so much clarity. Like her whole day changed. So that's why I love doing the one-on-one readings, right? Because that's where you get the intuition and clarity, and you get to really help a person. So I don't think of them as readings, though. I think of it as what do I call my sessions? Geometrical soul sessions. We're putting together the geometrical pieces of your soul.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
I know exactly what you mean. Like tapping in and figuring out things for because I had a client a week or two ago, young girl, had problems with circulation in her lower legs, always
Mm.
since she was a child. And my guides were pushing me to ask her, those strange questions. It's like, Mama, ask her this. And so I'm like, okay, what did you almost do in school besides be what she is? And she's like, oh, well, I really wanted to become a nurse, but I couldn't stay in the hospital because of the sight and the smell of blood it just did something to me. And when she said that to me, I instantly got a vision of them holding her down in olden days in a makeshift hospital and amputating her legs.
Mm.
And so I was like, that's why you have the circulation problems in your legs. That trauma has been pulled forward. And it's like, I love, like you said, going in, figuring out what's going on in the body that nobody can explain why they're having that, and it being some type of past life event, energetic residue. Yeah, it's just yeah.
Just something.
Yeah, and then she's over there like I'm excited because I figured out why don't circulate fluid well, and I'm like, you had meditation.
But no, not right now, not this life, but before.
We were like, she's like, oh okay, yeah. But when she said, the smell of blood, I don't know what it was about what she was saying, but it caused me to have that vision of what happened to her. And I was over here, like, oh, that's so cool. Chopping your legs off. That's why.
Wait a minute. Not right now, but yeah, let me give them back to you. Hold on.
Yes, yeah, but I'm just saying, I understand that being able to help people on a different level. That they go to the doctor or they're going to the psychiatrist or they're trying to figure out why they're struggling in this lifetime. And you and me kind of do the same things, but we do them on a different level. Like I have my ways of going in and figuring out things, and then no offense, but you're on a whole other level of things I can. But like I said, every healer's got their gifts, and like you said, one person usually can't take care of everything. It's nice to have this tribe and this network of other healers that we ourselves use. You send me clients, I send you clients, and in our group, and recognizing the talents that the other people have and the strengths that other people have. Like you said, you would rather pass on the mediumship stuff and take on the soul retrieving stuff. But that just kind of makes us an A team. I just think that's so awesome that we recognize each other's strengths and it's all about what's best for the client. So I love that.
I agree. And I always tell people it's no way to get there. It what's the saying I use? If you go left and I go right, the end point is still the same. As long as we're still going to get there no matter how we do it. But this is your journey, this is my journey with the same end results. Always the same end results.
Yeah.
So I love it. And I think anchoring this light here in Alabama has been important because I can feel a shift, just a vibrational shift in Alabama. it feels different. It feels just different for some reason. Even when you go out, it does not feel so heavy, so burning. So maybe this is the point, was to anchor this light here to bring awareness and unconditional love in this part of the world, because I feel like it was dim for a long time. And I feel like that's why we were all brought. Well, I know I was brought back to Alabama. I tried to go everywhere: Alaska, Colorado, California, anywhere. The universe said closed every door, and then set me here. I was like, okay.
Well, one of my clients has abilities, and he has been really drawn to the land. And what's really interesting is me and him were doing some research because we were picking up that he's supposed to do some queries. And I learned things about the area that we live in that I just really had not put two and two together. For instance, we discovered not far from his home was a place out towards Wildwood Park that they used to build these little houses called pest houses. And that's where they put the sick people away from the community because, they didn't want them with everybody else. And I thought, how demeaning was that to build a house to put you in away from society and actually name it the pest house?
Have you ever like took a map and looked at Alabama?
Yeah, but probably not what you're fixing to tell me.
Alabama has something that most people don't pay attention to: the red clay. It was once underwater. The rivers, the mountains, the cave systems. I, mm, no. So I believe that we know. I think that the reason we're in Alabama is because we're sitting on what's called sacred land.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe that this, because we know the Anunnaki were not in Egypt or Kim at the time. I believe that this is the part of the world they were in because of the red clay, the water systems, the limestone, the cave systems.
Of course.
It's the quartz. There's a lot of factors. So I believe that the stuff you're talking about, I believe we're gonna find a lot more of that stuff. And I believe we're gonna find a lot more intricate cave systems. It's a reason that NASA's in Huntsville, Alabama. It's a reason they're building a dome over Alabama. There's so many things that point to this being such a,
Yeah.
but it would make, my question is, why is what I ask my guys all the time, how did the vibration get so low?
Well, that's what I was talking about with this area. When I started investigating, it was like I didn't realize, like during the Civil War, they came through here and burned down like the railroad bridge, and they came and like burned down this and burned down that, and like there's a lot of trauma, and there's also a lot of trauma and death when before the dams were put in, there was a lot of flooding in this area, like you said. And yeah, a lot of devastation, a lot of sickness came out of that because of the mold and the flooding and the water. So we were like going down this history of the show's area, and like he was going around and like blessing and trying to clean up some of the dense heaviness, of the emotions, the imprint that's here. But yeah, my guides keep telling me that there's lots of buried things in this area that is turning back on, the energies are moving, the ley lines, all that stuff is activating again. And it's all from what they tell me of what's underneath. This
The pyramids.
yes, that's underneath. And that's why that the river got the nickname from the Indians, the Singing River, is because there's something vibrational to that. Um, and in Lemuria, they sang codes into the water and into the land. And I believe that's what's activating them.
And I believe we're a big part of that because of the work we're doing here. So I believe that when the pyramids, I'm not going to say what kind of pyramids, everybody can research it, but we know how y'all are and we don't want to be bothered here in Alabama. We minding our business, so we just go call them pyramids, okay? Don't come bothering us. I feel like when they begin to shake, it's going to feel like an earthquake when they begin to rise. I think we'll know. And I feel like, Alabama, we had a mini earthquake not too long ago. Or they didn't call it an earthquake. It was during the snow. It was when they said the ground got hot and then it got cold and it mimics an earthquake. I don't know what they're called. But when we had that period of ice I don't know if you remember, we had a lot of earth shakes during that time.
Tremor or something?
Huh?
The tremor?
They're not called tremor. They're called they're called something.
Okay,
I have to look it up. Let me look it up.
fine. But but yeah, that was the same information I'm getting is that the things are being activated again in this area, and that is the draw, and that is the energy that's coming from Northwest Alabama.
Oh, they call them Cryoseism,
Okay,
or a frostquake is what they call them in the South. But it mimics an earthquake, but it's when the ground, the tectonic plates below shift,
yeah,
and it makes it feel like an earthquake, but it's really they call it a frostquake.
yeah,
So this winter we had a few of those. I don't know if you felt them, but it was like doo doo. You could hear them; they were loud.
yeah. I don't remember on that. I mean, I didn't. Something else was going on when distracted me, but yeah, that's the same information I get. Is there's energy coming in and it's going into the earth and it's activating certain things to come back on and move and generate and the people here are also frequency holders and grid workers. And, we're kind of like, I always look at it like kind of a light bright. Like, when you start putting in the little pegs, it's like popping up. Like we're all holding places for this light, for this energy, and this vibration.
Right. I love those things.
And I love it. Like that's, I see it. I see it as light bright. Like you're one, I'm one. Everyone's got their little light bright peg. And it's just very exciting, and like I said, to be kind of at this place where we know a little bit about what's going on, to be able to help other people and still be also learning and integrating like what's coming, what's changing. It's just exciting. And like I said, if this is life crisis, then woo-hoo, I'm good. This is way better than a Camaro.
Listen, all I'm saying, if y'all come in 2027, you better not pass by my house. Beam me up. Come on, take me with you. I want to see the ship. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a being here. You do have the excitement and of what's going on, but then you've also got to be the witness to everything, and like that can be overwhelming for some. So right now, I was really pulled to do like the nervous system resets because that's huge. All these light workers, your nervous system has to change and upgrade to hold more light so you don't get sucked into the darkness when things start to shift and kind of go a little hairy. You got to be able to maintain your cool. You got to be able to, not flip over to stress and anxiety, and you got to be able to maintain it. So I'm trying to like teach people come in when we're doing our like still water sessions, and I'm teaching. I'm telling them like this is how you can do breath work to shift things. This is what you need to do, just as easily as like playing these frequencies and just simple things to kind of help people grow through this process because
Mm-hmm.
just recognizing that things are changing.
Absolutely. And it's hard because I go through those shifts, but I go through them. I, I, I go into like a shell when I feel it. Like we all just kind of went through that, and I went through a shell. It's interesting because my Facebook got shut down for like 3 days, so I knew it was time. Like Facebook took my page. I was like, what did I do? And then they gave it back, and then I was like, okay, here we go, playing this game. But I knew it was time to go into my shell, but and re-regulate and re-expand my vibration. And I think that's something that's happening right now with this planetary alignment. And every because we're being, again, I think I said this beginning, we're being called to hold this light for those that are beginning to awaken.
And you don't realize that it sounds like fun, going in, oh, I'm going to get spiritual, I'm going to learn all this stuff. And then you have one of those purges or those weeks or two of your body's changing and you're just like, oh, I almost died.
Lord.
Because I think me and you probably had about the same timeline because the end of March, um, my guys are always telling me you got to rest, you got to rest, and I'm like, I got too much stuff to do, and so they took me out for 2 weeks. Like they allowed me to get that stupid human pneumonia, whatever virus.
Oh,
I felt like I had COVID and was literally in the bed, couldn't work for 2 weeks. Um,
you couldn't even get on the frequency table?
well, I made my way in here a few times, but I'm just telling you, I was dead. Like, that's it. But
It fixes everything.
oh, I trust me, I had it running remote, but it was like I finally realized that this was more of like they were making me rest
Hmm.
because I wouldn't.
I've never guessed. I'd never guessed that you would.
Yeah, because I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna work full time job and do this during the week. And yeah, no, you're gonna rest. And what was weird about that time is like those 2 weeks, I had to rest. And then once I started feeling like myself, I started noticing my intuition's better, and I feel like I've got to upgrade here. But I couldn't get that upgrade until I laid my butt down and allowed my body to do what it needed to do. Um, so yeah, and I feel like that they had to disconnect your Facebook for you.
They disconnected everything, honey. I want to tell you something. All I could do was sit here. I just sat here. I was just like,
I know.
I was like, okay, you got me. You won. I said, this time last year was my job, so you don't have. So every time y'all want me to rest, you take a job. You take my job, and I have to. But I have to ask myself, and that am I that much of a workaholic? Do I really?
Yeah, yeah, you stay busy. I
I'm.
would book a session to talk to you, and it's like, I think about you, and I'm like, I know he's busy, but I'd love to just say, hey, what's up? But we've all been busy doing, I think, what we came here to do, and so I don't bother a lot of y'all because I'm so happy and proud that we are busy and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But when you told me that your Facebook messed up, it was about the same time they shut me down with the sickness, and I'm like, yeah,
They took my Facebook today, and I finally called Facebook, and they took it. They said because you have so many messages, your account looks suspicious. Literally, that's why they took my Facebook.
yeah,
They were like, "We just want to know what you're doing." I said, "I'm just working." They're just like, "Okay," and they gave it back, but they they took my Facebook again today, and I had to call them and I got it back. But they said because you get so many messages, your account is suspicious and it flags.
huh. Well, see, I told you you've been busy.
I'm just gonna disconnect my messenger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's a good thing, but I do feel like our guides intervene, like, and they'll put you in timeout. And I know when you were, like you said about your job, you was trying to like get a job somewhere else, and they didn't want you working anywhere else, and you're like, they won't even hire me at McDonald's. I was like, what?
They wouldn't. I tried. It's like several times. Dollar General several times. Like I tried every Dollar General from Rogersville to Florence.
because then we wouldn't have you doing what you do, and I think it's beautiful. Like of course, my guys are always. I'm trying to sneak around and like always get information that they don't think I need to know. I'm like, why can't I know these things? And they're like, well, that would be no fun. Like, what would be the fun of you being here if you knew how everything was going to play out? And I'm like, trust me, it's okay. Just tell me.
It's I'm gonna agree with your guys just because I can see it and there's so many timelines, so many shifts happening. But I'm gonna tell you the easiest way to find out. Just tap into the collective consciousness because the timeline we're on is always the collective conscious timeline. So, for instance, right now, the collective consciousness is in a state of fear because of war. So, because that fear is the present fear, that's what's generating. So, that's kind of why, like, even these podcasts, these conversations help shift the collective consciousness out of that. But the timeline we're on is, gosh, I don't like this timeline, but it's probably 100 different timelines present at a time.
I understand that things have to get bad before they get work to get better. Um, I have gotten to my healing enough to realize how that works, and it sucks, but we're a hard
Well,
place, and then things have to get like it doesn't matter how bad it is overseas until it's here in our face or it's directly affecting us as Americans. Um, we tend to tune it out, and
but
the shift's not going to happen until everybody comes together and says enough's enough.
I think the biggest shift, because I'm gonna say if my calculations are correct, but other people may say, I'm gonna say we're at about 52% of piercing the light. And that's because people like you and I don't pay attention to it because we don't feed it. Like, I'll give you an example. I didn't know gas was. I went to get gas in my partner's car, and I didn't know gas was $3.99 until I got through pumping gas, and I was like, this I normally put $20 in here, and it's like 300 miles, and why is it only 194? And then I looked up, I was like, oh, gas is $3.99, and then I put more and kept going. But it's because I was not aware of what was happening because I don't care. It's not of the light, so I don't pay attention to it.
I don't, I don't, I couldn't tell you what's going on in the news today because I don't feed into it anymore.
But I know what's going on in the spiritual realm because that's where my focus is at, and it's on helping people that want to ascend and are ready to step into their own power and step into their own frequency and step into their alignment with other people and step into a place of love. So
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I tell everybody. I even have clients that, sometimes question, oh, are you, what are you doing? And I'm like, look, I 150% just want to help people. Anything, I don't care if it's baking a cake, anything can be done out of malice, out of harm, out of bad intentions. Um, I don't care what line of work you're in, what you do for a living, where you live. But the spiritual community that I'm friends with, that I see and I talk to and I work with every day, have the same intentions when you do. We're here to help people. We're here to answer questions, and we're here to guide people into their own journey and their own discoveries. And
absolutely.
that's just the most beautiful thing I can think of. So I get highly offended when someone insinuates I'm doing anything else.
Don't get offended, just don't care.
Well, what I do now, it's like, well, if I did know voodoo, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, just but that's what we've been programmed, or people have been programmed in the past to do, is you fear things you don't understand. So I just, I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. But
That's a good thing.
people that and I don't want to be here for everybody. That's too much. It's too much work. But I want to be here and answer questions and help people that are just waking up, that do know that there's something going on, but they just can't quite figure it out. And yeah, I mean, it's just such an exciting and blessing thing to be able to be that concrete stone for someone, that support system.
I agree.
Alone, like I know that you probably have, you maybe 100 people that you have come in contact with that you've watched them enter your life as someone that didn't. Well, I'm one of them, didn't quite know anything, and then like I've kind of found my way a little bit enough to feel like I
A lot of it. Not a little bit, a lot of it. A lot of it. A lot of it. Not a little, a lot.
can
No, expand that. Just keep expanding and expanding. It's a lot. Exactly.
it all the time. I have to watch what I eat all the time. But I was told that's that angelic DNA.
hmm
I said I would be the fat baby.
It's interesting though, because I just did some soul retrievals for two angelic beings, and I realized that your title of Lemuria was to stop the war. All of you are carrying, and this I've done. It's interesting because when I see a cycle, I see it in nines. I see three people, then three more come, then three more come, and it's the same souls that are all soul family that are experiencing the same thing. So I just did three soul retrievals, all angelic beings, Elohim, fallen angels, that were sent to Lemuria to stop the war, but couldn't because of the darkness. The darkness masked itself as the light, and they got taken off of their mission.
Yeah.
So that was part of them being sent here to Earth why you all are here now. So I'm realizing a lot of you are feeling that effect now, and you're feeling it in your heart mostly, your heart and your third eye. So I had three people all of the same. I was like, how? Like, what is this cycle? Why? What is going on? But
I can say for myself too, though. Like I have a connection with Elohim, Lemuria, and
mm-hmm.
being Earth, being sent to Earth during times where ascension or great people. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, that ties into what I've been told as well.
So I bet if you sit and meditate on it, you'll go back to that time and you'll see who. It's interesting because the person, that darkness that stopped you in that moment is here present now, and you might find them in your life.
Mhm.
Actually, I think you already did, but that's neither here nor there. We got to go down that rabbit hole. But they're here starting to do the same thing again. They're disrupting the light.
Yeah.
So,
One other thing that popped up in one of my past life readings, which Jen did, was where I was on this property in Alabama in
444.
times, singing codes into the water and to the land.
Telling you, it's,
They,
that's that Lemurian. I can't prove it, but when I can prove it, we're going to shout it to the top of the world. I'm still working on proving it, but I'm
yeah,
pretty sure I'm right.
yeah, but that's what came up in my past life regression with her is that that goes right along with this area with the singing river. And she was saying that there was actual codes sung into the water and into the land, and those codes are reactivating.
Have you recalled those codes yet?
On the regression, she had me to sing it.
I wonder if I could recall those codes. I wonder if I could recall that moment.
Yeah, she had me
I
to sing it on the when I was in regression, and I can't remember what it was now, but I sang a few of them.
wonder if I could recall. I wonder if I can bring them here now because I'm wondering if you sing it now, if you could sing it back again now, if you couldn't shift, if it wouldn't be a shift. And I wonder who else was there with you
It
because I
was
feel like it was three of you.
yeah, it was something like when I did it. What was on the recording? Something similar to that.
Okay, that I felt that in my throat, so I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna see if I can recall some more of it, or if I can bring that aspect to you now.
Yeah.
You might feel it because if you just jump up and start singing, it's probably I've brought that aspect to you. Think about it. Think about it.
It just keeps hearing the same thing that there's a little vibration there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That I haven't done that before. That's what I keep hearing.
That's the sound of water, and then it's the sound of trees in there.
That's
Because as you did it, I could feel the trees swaying.
two, and then that's the second part. There's a O. Oh, wee, boo, wee, boo is what I keep hearing.
So, we is the grass. So I feel like it's all the elements that are in that tone, but it's sung to the water because the water, all those elements have to have water to survive in the sun. So the deep part, I feel like it's the sun of the. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm wondering if you use that tone, that same one, by your. I'm just going to not tell everybody your water area would it help pull the water up faster?
Yeah. Well, funny you said that because I had a world psychic come see me. I mean, I didn't know who he was. And I was telling him about how I ground outside. I use like ski poles to like in my mind to like ground in. And he said to me, "You're striking the ground like Moses struck the ground with his rod and commanded the water to rise." And I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, okay.
So I'm wondering if you strike it, sing that, would it not? But don't cause a flood now. We don't want to flood your property.
The pond is so low.
We just want to pull it gently. Don't call it like
Well, he told me when he walked out there, he said, "I feel like the Beverly Hillbillies, like when the governor popped up." He said, "There's going to be something like that happen up here." And I was like, "Could you make it all?" That would be great. But
I feel
yeah,
that's your missing pieces. That song, calling back in that element and calling it through. I think that's what needs to happen.
go back and listen to what it was when Jen did it too. But it was very similar. And then, um, so we had a done with my mom, I told you about yesterday, and she tapped into my grandfather that was with you with the tobacco. And I was asking about the water, and his response to her was, "Well, that's all you." He's like, he was trying to say that he really is not doing anything with the water.
Mm.
So that makes a lot of sense from what he said yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And water is such a feminine energy. It's so divine flow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he would step into that now.
But like he was just telling you that they were moving the water when you did the blessing.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get more information because I've gotten like 5 or 6 holes that's like further than 3 foot down in the yard. And so I was like, "What's going on in the yard?" And with the water, and he was like, "Well, that's whatever you want it to be." He was like,
Mm.
"Your intention, what you decide to do with the water."
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's such a sweet person. He just
Mhm.
be minding his business.
Yep.
He just be minding his business.
Grandfather that sits on the park bench at the mall and lets the women like do their shopping, and he's just chilling there in the massage chair.
That's what he's doing now, minding his business, staying out of your grandmother's way.
Like, yeah. She means well. She, at least I've got guides that she said as long as I show up, she's taking care of everything. Like, I gotta do.
Oh,
So that's kind of fun and beautiful. She doesn't rest. It's not working on something.
that's beautiful.
Well, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and have some of these wonderful insights and mentorships and learn more about their soul and where they've lost parts of themselves and be here talking about crazy stuff like with us.
So if you want to book online, it's www. Actually, you can book online and in person at www.soulrisehealing.com, or you could go to Shows Healing Frequency and book there, or you can just call the Shows Healing Frequency if you want to do it in person. And either way, but that's how you can reach me. My website is soulrisehealing.com, or so you can find me through April's Place.
Yeah. So yeah, basically here it shows Healing Frequencies. I'm located in Killen, Alabama, which is really the Green Hill area. It's close to the state line, but I've had people come from Birmingham to see, some of our healers, including me. I had a lady come from Pennsylvania, but she was actually visiting family here in Tennessee, so that was nice. So if you're interested in like an in-person, unique experience, and we've got Reiki's, mediums, sound healing, water healing, sound beds, dry frequency. Pretty much try to have a connection with any type of healer for whatever type of experience that you are looking for.
Yeah.
Um, so, and it's not just, we kind of vetted these people. We don't recommend anybody that we don't. haven't worked with or know personally. So yeah, if you have anybody that you're just curious of having a reading with, get a hold of me or Angel, and we, if it's not us that you want to do that with, we have plenty of people that we work with that can can match you up with and take care of you. All right. Well, I appreciate talking to you. Having to finally get a booking with you just to get some time. I
It's my birthday month, so
know. I was just fixing to say it's coming up, but
mhm.
y'all need to get together and get a new picture. But it's just been very exciting for me personally be to know every one of you and to watch everybody grow. Oh my gosh! Look at the baby. I
They have Paulo.
little Apollo shirt.
See, I got on my dinosaur pajamas.
I said, look at my little, look at his little about Apollo's little shirt. Y'all kind of
Thank you. Say it's my pajamas. It's my dinosaurs.
oh, that's so cute.
All right, I'll put you back to sleep, buddy.
Oh,
He was asleep. I woke him up.
you have to let Mama babysit. Y'all go on vacation.
Yes. Oh, I do need to let your mom babysit him. Oh, he's such a lap dog. He just wants to kiss on you and lay on you, and then he wants to get down. But I don't know if I could because he torments your cats.
Well, she doesn't have any cats. It's just me.
Okay.
Just give Lily somebody to play
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because he loves to play. All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
with. Oh, well, I love and appreciate you too, and I just want everybody to know you and know your gifts and your beautiful heart. And yeah, I just want to spread the joy. So thank you for being on my podcast, The Frequency Hour. And this is where we talk about everything frequency. And since everything is frequency, we talk about anything we want to.
I love it.
All right. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.